My name is Sarah.
And my name is Sharon, and welcome back to Cake Dealers KE,
where we bake and tell. So today in studio, hey, oh my God, I'm shying off because, guys, she's my teacher. I did my masterclass from her, and she's such a lovely soul. Season 2, we told you we are going to bring you the biggest, the greatest in the cake industry, and we did not disappoint because, I mean, so I'm introducing to you this lovely lady called Samantha, and I'll leave it to her to introduce herself.
Wow.
Yes.
I really feel so wow. Thank you. And it's really nice to see you again. It's been since then that we haven't seen each other.
Yeah.
My name is Samantha. Excited to be here. Great to meet you as well today, Sharon. I'm the founder of Little Cake Girl. We have been around quite a few years. It is my only job. It is my favorite job. And it is easily my favorite thing to eat. We sell celebration cakes, wedding cakes, and we do classes, and it's just all around a fun time in our studio.
Oh my God, she's just downplaying, by the way, guys. And I downplay because and I downplay vibaya sana. If you guys just know Little Cake Girl, hey, if you have seen her cakes,
go and stalk her as you watch this movie.
Stalk later.
Episode.
You can stalk her later and just see the amazing jobs she does. She also she's a part of she's trying to build a community. I've been in 1 or 2 of her classes, online classes, costing classes and whatnot. So you can check her out. And Samantha, we are so glad that you're here. We are happy that you graced our invite. And
I was very excited when she told me.
I was so honored, actually.
She was so sweet. She didn't even ask twice. She didn't even. And I really appreciate. We really feel that we're doing something when we invite someone and they are actually invited to come, because we're not paying you, and for you to be willing to come, genuinely happy to come, it really makes us very happy, and it gives us purpose every time.
Yes.
Thank you. It is my honor,
so much.
for sure.
Yeah.
It is my honor.
And even you just being part of the contribution to the baking industry in this conversation, it really, really, really amazes us. And that is why we decided to bring this podcast on board. So Samantha, who is Samantha without LCG?
Cake Girl.
Oh my goodness, Samantha is a lover of joy and happiness. To be quite frank, I live a life that sort of ensures that I stay as joyful and as purposeful as possible. If you spend time with us at Little Cake, although you haven't been to our new space, everything we do is surrounded around just being your best self. I know that might be a bit cliche, but just being your best self, being as authentic as possible, creating the best version of anything that you can create, whether it's an invoice or a cake, making our clients happy. I mean, we exist in such a happy space. We are always bringing cakes into happy places. So the place that produces those things needs to be a place that, exudes that as well. I like fun. I like to have a good time. I do not take myself seriously at all. So I'm also not, I guess people handle me like, Little Cake Girl, and I'm just like, guys, relax.
Me.
So as a baker, what do you do for fun? If we would take our leave.
Oh my gosh, so this is very embarrassing. I don't have like a fun life. So my whole life is sprinkled with fun. Okay. I spend a lot of time working, to be honest. I spend a ton of time in work mode. So what then happens on the other side is my family is the most important thing to me, and that's my husband and our 2 children. And so that life is also the most amazing life I could ever expect. So if I'm not working, I'm probably doing something with one or all of them. And then now I've learned to take a little bit of quiet time. I'm also a certified yapper, so I've learned.
Welcome on board.
Be aware.
Yes. My husband is very much like a peaceful guy, so I've learned how to also just be like, I can chill. So I would say I don't do like things for fun. I just really ensure that my entire life is like that. This is the life I live, the life I would want to live, So
Okay.
That's really nice. That's
So-
Samantha for you.
Samantha,
Yeah.
but here it's cake.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want you to take us back to how, not even how Little Cake Girl started, but how your love for cake started.
Wow. I like the way you've asked that question, because then it's not as much about like a historical journey. So my mom, when we were growing up, my mom raised us as a housewife. And so my mom is very much like that perfect, excellent homemaker woman. And so she had cupcakes baking every so often. She'd make, fresh meals. She used to cook a fresh meal for lunch and bring it to school for us to eat every day with like freshly squeezed juice.
Wow.
And
that is
so-
epitome of housewife.
Yes. And so I grew up with just the joy of living. I don't know how else to phrase it, but like we grew up loving the normal things in life. And so when she was in the kitchen, for some reason, I just always gravitated towards, let me make the cupcakes, or let me mix this batter with you. I really never picked up on the food, which is sad because my mom is a really good, she's always in the kitchen. And that's where the love actually started. Second to that, I actually just love cake. Please, let me just answer now. Yes, I eat cake.
Once and for all.
I eat cake every day, guys. Okay? Yes, I'm sorry, I don't look like it. But if I had
And we
a
don't eat
little
cake.
penny
Yeah.
for every time somebody says, I know you don't eat cake every day because you don't look like it. We just thank the Lord. But I eat cake every day. So my love for cake was born from a very young age. And that's, I guess, how it just felt like the most natural thing for me to do at the point where I decided that that's what I wanted to do.
So how did you decide to do? Of course, you decide. Then
Yeah.
now comes Little
Yes.
Cake Girl. So at what point did you decide to do?
Okay.
And actually, before we get to what point
Yeah.
you decided to do, did you go to school for it, or you take us through your education to now where you decided that this is what I want to do?
Okay, so I'll answer the did I go to school a bit later. So again, at a young age, I also knew I was very drawn to tech and technology and stuff like that. So I grew up knowing I wanted to be in IT. I wanted to be in IT in one way or another. And I was very drawn to, machines and how they worked. So I grew up knowing I'll do computers, as that's how we used to call it back then. And so when I went to uni, that's what I went to pursue. Towards the end of that, I had a bit of a life situation change, and I felt like that was a gap that I really needed to fill with creative things. Because now when I was in uni, I felt like the degree I was doing was stripping me of creativity. And so then I came out dry and bored, and I was just like, oh my God, what is this? I didn't think this is what it was going to be like. And so I just took some time off, and I was like, you know what, why don't I just bake some cakes? And then at that time, Cake Boss had just started, airing on DSTV. And so I'd look at what this guy is doing, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? That looks fun. And then he's talking about how much he's getting paid for it. I'm like, what do you mean? And so I usually have this belief that if it can happen on planet Earth, then we can do it. So yeah, that is sort of what pivoted me from being in IT formally, as it were, to now being in cakes. It was a big challenge, convincing my African dad that this is the route I want to take. And my commitment to him was just, I'll be the best. Just give me space to do this. I will be the best. And yeah, looking back, I don't know how I had the guts to say things like that.
When you're driven by purpose and passion,
yeah, and then
you
it
can
was
write a book for that
right.
kid.
And it was the one thing that perfectly combined logic and creativity. And so that's what birthed it. Now the thing is, for me, I'll be honest, it isn't the baking that excites me. Like, I have no love for the cracking of eggs and the mixing. I derive zero therapy. Everyone says it's therapeutic. For me, it's just you read 300 grams and you put it in a bowl. So for me, that really wasn't it, much as it was sort of the architecture of design, and at that time, it was all about things we had never seen before. And now me, with my hyper ambition, I was like, I can do that, and we're going to do that. So yeah, that's how I pivoted. Then I remember feeling overconfident because, hey, I've been baking since I was 9 years old. So how am I going to not be able to bake that train that's moving, like the one I saw on Cake Boss? And I tried, and I quickly learned it's not the same.
You're quickly humbled.
Not the same. And I'm like, okay, what is this? So then I spoke to my dad, and I was like, hey, I think I need to go and learn about this thing. And he was like, what about the other degree, And I said, let me try this, let me give this its best shot, and then if it doesn't work out, then we'll regroup and then we'll see. I don't think I said I'll go back. I knew I wasn't going back. But then I was just like, let me give this, like I needed to get my curiosity just like satisfied so that I can be, either it will work or it won't. So I saw a course, I remember looking for something, and there was this course that was in, I guess, Switzerland or something, and it was like 2 million for like 6 months. So I brought it to my dad, and my dad was like, there's no like local something we can start with, because this feels like, we're taking this to the next level. So eventually, after a couple of years, I ended up going to Valentine because I really couldn't grasp how to make fondant, how to, figure out how to bake the local way from YouTube, the way it was back then, because we had no local creators like you guys. And so, that's generally how it was. So then the other part of it was, I kind of just, which is a bit of a diversion from the question, but it brings context. I was very clear that I was going to sell cakes. I was very clear that I was going to bring joy into people's lives. I was so clear on that. And so I started to create databases. Remember, I'm an IT baby.
Yes.
So I started to create databases using Facebook back then, putting down birthdays, recording everyone's family. Now there's Data Protection Act, so you can just do some things. And so that is actually how I grew my business for 2 years. And now that's the story about how I brokered for 2 years, because I didn't know how to bake. And I'm just like, hey, Sarah, it's your guy's birthday coming up. What are we getting for him? So then I'd go buy cakes, repackage them, and sell. And I did that for 2 years.
Or redecorate?
Change the box.
Okay.
Yeah, literally just change the box. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in those 2 years, what were you doing?
Building the business.
So
now I'm having a sales department, which is me figuring out who I'm selling to, profiling the clients, trying to position, all these fancy things we know today, like brand guidelines, social media pillars and whatever. I didn't know any of those things, but I kind of figured out the kind of person I wanted to sell to. I also figured out the kind of conversations I was willing to have with people. I didn't want to... There's a conversation I didn't want to have because I knew then it would take the joy out of everything. So I kind of knew which client I wanted to target, and I did that from the very beginning.
Okay.
And then now, at the time, Valentine had a very, good Black Forest cake. It was huge in the market then. It was new. Not saying that it's not good now. I just don't know much about what's going on there. But... So I would sell Black Forest to everyone. So people, I'd be like, so what do you want for so-and-so's birthday? Do you have vanilla? I'm like, well, have you tried our Black Forest? And so I just did that for 2 years, and I sold over 200 cakes in 2 years without an oven, without anything. And so my dad was just like, I like this. I like what I'm seeing here. This method is very, it's very forward thinking. And then I went and broke his heart again when I said, no, I actually want to make the cakes this time. So because I would interact with a lot of people who have great vision for their events, and then I wasn't able to match their expectations. So there was a gap. And then again, I'm an artist. So I was like, I can do this thing. So then I went to Valentine so that I can learn fondant. I breezed through that class. I think there was like 4 modules. So every time I'm in one class, I was peeping at the table of the guys who are in the next module so that I can be like, oh, so that's how you do it. Okay, can we finish up here? And so by that time, I already had students. I already had clients. And I would post on Facebook that, we have piping hot cupcakes tomorrow available. First come, first serve. Then that time I only have 12. So someone will be like, oh my God, let me have, how many do you have left? And I'm like, we have a dozen. make sure you take this. And so every time I'd come out of class, I'd pass by the client's home, deliver, and then I go home.
The ones you've done in class.
Yeah. So because I already had a business, and so I even remember meeting the owner. I don't know if you remember this, but he was like, "What are you doing here in my class?" And I was like, "Yeah, because I want to do this work myself." And he's like, "I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know about this direction." And I was like, "It's okay.
You don't know.
You don't worry."
So many lies.
Yeah, I'm onto this. So that's really how I moved from, the love of baking and my education background, how I started my actual business. So the business started before I became a baker. Yeah.
That's interesting. Considering, I don't know this, there was a conversation going around on TikTok, and a certain lady was so pissed off. she sells accessories.
Yes.
Yeah. So she was saying the way somebody would come in with a cake, put a topper, put nini, and probably she has bought the cake from Nives or and then now repackage it. And I remember Treats by Koi. She went on the comment section and she's like, "I know someone who started selling cakes, and she's now very big." And I was like, "I know her as well."
I hadn't known that.
You didn't know
that? No, I didn't.
Yes.
know. You're the one who told me. I was like, huh.
Yes, I'm like, I also know.
What do you think?
And so
That's how she started. It's okay.
yeah, and I think what the lady was trying actually to say, and I think I don't know, there's a way in TikTok, in as much as you've said this black, they will just twist it in a way. So I think what she really meant was, don't compare your prices with anyone, because you really don't know where they're getting their things from. So wewe usione like somebody is selling at 1 kg at 1,500, and you ukifanya costing yako akina kufikisha 25, and you really are stressed, so you will maybe start undercharging because you really don't know. I usually tell Sharon, you don't know, maybe somebody is a very rich housewife somewhere, the bills are paid,
every
electricity stock is done by the husband. Now you are there suffering, wondering, how am I going to make it? So I think that is what she was trying to say, but also that's a very interesting niche actually, because biashara ni biashara at the end of the day, and it's not something dirty or I feel like, and as I've said, I feel like Samantha really she really goes to the entrepreneurship part. Like, yes, she's a baker, she does very amazing cakes, but she will, if you I don't know, if you maybe interact with her, you will get to realize she's so big on making that business look like any other business. I remember she was telling us, your logo should not, ikiekwa kwa wengine wenye ni corporate, it should not stand out like this is just like a cake house. Like it
shouldn't, and that is something that I'm always big on with my students. I'm like, when you're thinking of even a name or a logo, remember that one day you want this business. Can you imagine someone signing you a check? Alafu anaandika
last time we mentioned mtu na ilikuwa mtu keki ya ilikuwa bakery ya wacha tu tabia mbaya.
Use my name
like Samantha's cakes. Okay, no, it doesn't sound bad, but think on the bigger side, on the larger side, or you want, maybe unaitwa, let's such a nice baby name, alafu I don't know, for me, I feel like I would want you see the way you said ati your logos among other corporate logos, I want yangu too, mtu one tu ini shape ya cake. Yes, this is a cake, but it's very professional, like even the name, thinking about the name, you should take time to think about a name for your business, something that exudes professionalism and seriousness. It's important.
Agreed. And you're not doing this business for it to remain like tiny.
Small business.
You're never,
it's not wewe peke yako around it. You want to build a system. You want, even if you're not there, it still runs.
Exactly what I always say. Mtu asikuja paseme mi natafuta Sharon, sini Sharon Cakes. Sharon ni nani? Mi kama Sharon anitengenezei cakes taki. Nataka Sharon Cakes peke.
And it's also,
and it ties you so much that you doing something else away from your business becomes very hard, because anyone who comes there, Sharon Yuko, Hayuko, that is an order that has gone because Sharon Hayuko.
And I think to track back to to whether it's ethical or not, really you're building a business that's going to have so many functions that if we remain in the arguments of you shouldn't do this or you should do this, just lacks, it takes away from people doing what they want. Like, we are all allowed to do what we want. Just be ethical, and you're not trying to rip anyone off. So funny enough, when I was doing that brokerage season of my life, people would come, the feedback I would get, and so this is also key. What are people saying about your business? What do you care what people have to say, or are you just nitpicking at what other people are doing? So clients would always say, oh my gosh, we used to buy cakes from Valentine's. Now we will only be buying from you because yours are so much better. And I'm just like, wow, that's something to point out. So in the journey of, learning how to make this business be the greatest business was understanding truly what makes the customer happy. Like truly what makes them happy. And I quickly learned it's actually not the cake. It's not like the actual 12 by 12 product. It is how you make them feel, how reliable you are, how good you are at meeting or surpassing their expectations. So controversially, I don't spend a lot of time with bakers because of the limiting mindset that comes with, why do you do it this way? You shouldn't do it this way. But if I've tried it and I've experimented and it works for me, I can only show you how I do it, but I wouldn't push an agenda on anybody else to do it only one way, because surely it's creative work. We should be able to be free to do it. And it was a really good run, because then that's when I learned the most there is to learn about for a young business. I really learned customer perception and customer behavior. It was and has still been one of the most invaluable lessons I've ever had to learn. So I spend a lot of time trying to figure out what's happening in the mind of the customer, just so that we can be, a lot more keen towards making them happy. Because that's what matters the most.
That's really
so
beautiful.
We've baked, we've gone to Valentine Cake House, we've learned how to bake. So how was Little Cake Girl born now? How did you now start selling to your...
how did I
say how?
Yeah.
Little Cake Girl started, and then how now you started introducing your own cakes to your already existing clients.
So when I was in Valentine's, essentially I dropped out. But it's not that I dropped out, it's that I sped through and I didn't come back to finish. Because then what was happening is that I was already selling and I already had clients. And now at the time, I was pushing boundaries, design boundaries so hard. So all I needed to know was, how does this fondant thing work? Just how is it made?
How will I apply that?
Literally, that's just all I needed to know. So by the time I'm, looking at the other table to see how do they make the flour? I'm already taking orders. Yes, I can make flowers. Yes, I can make holiday cake. Yes, I can, So I sped through the thing. And I even remember a time when I asked them, how do I make black fondant? Because I've taken an order for like a camera cake, like these, these elaborate cameras. And at the time they were like, there is no black fondant. And I was like, there is no.
Which year was that?
Maybe, oh my gosh, I really do not remember.
Gosh, black fondant.
Gosh, let me just try and remember. This must have been 2013 thereabout.
So there was no black fondant.
Allegedly.
Sharon cannot
Allegedly.
I feel like probably just the hectic part. Getting black fondant is not illegal.
No, listen, this was a very lonely industry. There wasn't there wasn't a lot of people.
I remember they told us there was only one shop.
Yes, there was only one shop actually. Yes, it since closed down. So it wasn't that there wasn't black fondant. I mean, there probably really wasn't, but there wasn't that whole, sharing of information, social media. And heck, guys, I was baking before Uber came. So just to put some timelines to that. So I remember going through the course and I'm just like, I can take that order. Yeah. So I'm coming to class, dropping a cake, coming to sit. And I'm like, so how do you make? And they're like, we don't do that. And I'm like, okay, I need to figure this out by tomorrow. And so I was really pushing. And so what had happened at that time is, back to the branding, I just felt I had a bit of a generic brand name. I didn't like it much. And that was me trying to actually be just like broad, just in case I take a certain route or a different path with the whole cake thing. And then I was like, no, you know what? Everybody's like, oh, you're so little, you're so this. And I was like, that's what it's going to be. That's the name that it's going to be. I didn't like it. I didn't like being called small or short or little. But then I was like, no, this is what I'm going to use to make money now. This is, you will say it with, you will put some respect on it.
Literally her. Literally. Like it's such a perfect name for it.
Yeah.
It's a perfect
And
name.
so, and then at the same time, it was a little bit less generic, and it wasn't also too conceptual. So it was just, and I also didn't want to be the super face of the brand at the same time, you know. So it just felt right, and I was like, yeah, put it on, and I said, yeah, this is what it's going to be. So that's how the brand name was born. It took me a long time to figure out like my brand aesthetics and stuff. I still don't feel settled on it, but I also just don't pay too much attention to it. You'll be surprised at how little attention I pay to some things. Tritsy Baikoi asked me, why don't you document, why don't you capture content? And I'm like, I just never think about it. She's like, wow, so much happens in your studio and you don't capture. And I'm like, I just never think about it. Like it really, you know, because I also just don't want the pressure of how it's supposed to be done to consume me. So yeah, that is how Little Cake Girl was born. Like I said, I already had clients. I had already sort of taken a direction with the market that I wanted to serve. So now by the time I had the skill, I pushed really hard, and then it was very easy now to take flight from there. Yeah. And yeah, so that's how it's been.
She pushed really hard. By that you mean marketing yourself really hard. And that's where many of bakers right now, especially those who want to get to the industry, do not understand the amount of pushing that you have to do to gain clients. So someone becomes very frustrated that they've baked for 6 months and maybe they've baked 5 cakes in those 6 months, which shows probably you're not marketing enough, or you yourself are not putting enough energy in market. It's not that in 6 months you're supposed to bake 50 cakes. In the beginning, hey, I remember even you used to get 1 cake that week. You work through that cake and hey, you're like, hey, it's very normal. It's part of growth to have clients trickling in, you know, pole pole. Before you know it, you have a whole register of clients.
And still what people don't understand is that you have seasons in business. So people think us guys have a line of clients outside the door. We have moments where we're just like, oh, what is going on? But then we've also learned, then we've also learned, so we are very proactive. We talk to our clients consistently. We put ourselves out there. We are always trying to make connections with new clients. But we also know that seasons come and go and they change, so we're not always going to be up to our head in wedding orders, you know. So then we've also learned what to do when season is low and how to take advantage of that, because there's things you can't do when it's high season. Maybe you want to train new employees, or maybe you want to look back at your SOPs and change some things. So for me, I usually find those downtimes are my new favorite times, because then I get to set things straight for the time that we will be busy. Because you know, when you're busy is when you're like, I have to change this recipe, I have to remember to. So when you finally actually sit and do that work, so yeah, hard work. It's always hard work. There is no other way around it.
Yeah, I think all you've had from this season, all our guests are actually showing you how much work you need to put to advertise. Even us ourselves, it's not that tumefika mahali we are like, now enough, clients are enough. No, every single content you post out there is pushing for someone to know you, or for someone to refer you, or someone to order. So never get tired of marketing. Marketing is
that is true.
Maybe
that
60%.
Is true. That
like,
is
I mean, if you interact with her brand, like I think it was just some time back. I think you have a class coming up.
Yeah.
And then somebody called me and she's like, hi, you might be interested in this class. And I was like, Yani Samantha amesema, then Jerry in her, she will make sure, because you know, sometimes you don't even maybe remember to book a class, or sometimes you're just, I might
maybe
book,
you don't know.
I might not book.
Yeah, or you know someone.
But when somebody calls you, you're like, by the way, I wanted to, you know, to enroll in that class, which is really interesting, because I remember when we, I think, did our class, I remember there's a certain lady, Cakes Benegar or something. She said she has like a system whereby she has documented all her customers. So especially for husbands, they are really excited when you remind them their wives' birthdays are coming up. So also that is another way of, and like some few of my clients have been telling me, akitukumbushange tu. We just want you to remind us that it is somebody's birthday and we are ready to pay. And it's like, guys,
we call. We never get tired of calling. And that's actually how we started the business, if you remember. So those databases, we keep them growing and we keep reminding. And let me tell you, it is very frustrating and slightly depressing when the phone stops ringing. So you have to be proactive and remember that most likely the person who you're expecting to call has not thought about you. They're dealing with their own lives.
True.
Cake is the least of the things in the stack of what they need to get done. And even for a wedding, when you really think about it, when someone is planning a wedding, I consider the cake like a tier 2 decision. First they'll figure out where, they'll figure out how many people, they'll figure out the caterer, they'll figure out
the decor.
The decor. And so then they'll be like, so now who's going to do the photography? Who's going to be the MC? Who's going to do the cake? So even with that in mind, you kind of need to now push yourself to be higher up in somebody's thought process, because that's just what it is. So if you sit and wait passively, you will not pay your employees.
So now you've come up with Little Cake Girl.
Yes.
And do you know how I knew about you? That time you were using Shikonguru
What?
to advertise. I don't even know.
I wasn't even using her. She just bought cake and talked about us.
Yeah, she bought cake. And then now I went to your page to see. And then you had, I don't know how to call it, but you are providing for people a way that you do everything for them with one package. They pay you the package, then you do the decor,
so
cakes.
That was a different business. So I am a very highly ambitious individual. Again, I believe in just do all the things that you have been created to do, and there is no wrong answer. The only wrong answer is either not trying or So in the journey of, first of all, shout out to Shikonguru. That girl just boosted our business.
Really?
What I love about that season was it was the beginning of the influencer season. And so there wasn't much fuss around how to interact with an influencer or a content creator.
And at that time she was top because she was very big.
And she was so authentic.
YouTube.
And she was what I would call a perfect brand match. Okay? We've made a lot of mistakes in that space, but Shikonguru remains one of the top 5 perfect brand matches for LCG that we've ever experienced. So what that means is she speaks to the same people who we speak to. So by her speaking about us just once, it supercharged the business. And so I was a fan, actually. So when she'd call, I'm like, oh my God, you guys, it's so Shikonguru is calling. So she called and I made the cake and I delivered it. And then she was also very open and willing to just put that content out, and that was really awesome. So now from there the business moved one big step. Now what had happened at that time was we would get you become like a, what do you call it, like a thought leader, not a thought leader, an authority in the space. So with weddings, people would come to us and ask us for referrals for other vendors, because then over time people start to see you and place your brand somewhere. And then they want the rest of the event to rotate around the quality or the value you're providing. So then I was like, why don't I just start a business and do weddings? But again, it was not weddings for wedding's sake. It was, I really wanted to do small weddings because at the time I used to deliver wedding cakes on my own, like most of us are in the journey of doing. So my favorite weddings were the ones where, because you deliver a wedding cake, then you stay and then you cut the cake, then you go home. So my favorite weddings were always the weddings that were smaller. I felt like those ones, the intimate weddings, there was just a lot more love in the air and
timekeeping.
Maybe sometimes,
most
but
like
better, generally, really I think so. We can give them credit for that. So then I just fell in love with the concept, and I was like, why don't we just have a service that honors brides who want a very small wedding? But it was on top of that supposed to be very plug and play to suit the brides who would have wanted like a turnkey event, like just come and give me all my answers, because that's also my favorite kind of client. Like, I've already figured it all out. We don't need to spend 6 months having a discussion about very, things which are not that, unique, as it were. A flower is a flower. It's either there or it's not. It's either pink or it's another color, or it's, So when you categorize things very well, then the conversation becomes seamless. At Little Cake Girl, that's also how we deal with our clients. You might find like you've had a long conversation with us, but we've just spent time picking all the keywords, and we're able to be like, so this is what you want? Good. And then we make sure that the client and us are on the same page. So the wedding business started for that reason. Again, I just didn't have, I wasn't taking it too seriously, but then I did 6 weddings in 1 year. And after that I was like, I'm done.
A full wedding, by the way, a full
full end to end. Yeah, full end to end. So ideally it was only just bringing the right people together and then assisting it to execute very well. Happily to say, I just did not want to continue with that work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, when you put the unga here, it remains where you've left it. When you go and you come back, the unga is still here. When you put the uncle of a bride somewhere and you tell him sit here, when you go and you come back, he's not here. And he's part of the lineup. But I just felt like that isn't what I was called to do. I also felt it's not scalable. I really favor scalable work. It needs to make sense to me that for the amount that we are willing to be paid, we need to be able to see that multiply. And I wasn't willing to put in all the mental space to figure that out. And so I remain in honor of the planners who are doing a good job. I just felt like that wasn't the nature or the mechanism of business that I wanted to be involved in. So I still do events. It's just that our workshops are actually the events that we run. So when you see us doing masterclass, those are actually events. So we handle them as events, run sheet, all the moving parts. It's actually the same thing, it's just a different product. So I have a heart for events, just very structured ones.
So your father came, when did he realign with Little Cake Girl?
What was his turning point? Generally, I'm very proud to say I'm a daddy's girl. So and I'm a last born. So I was like, Dad, just give me the space to do it. So I guess he was just like, I guess that's also where I get it from. Just give something a shot, and then you'll know whether this is working for you or not. So he gave me that space to be like, you know what, let's try it. I'm sure he had 65 plan Bs, ready. And he was watching very keenly till date. Till date, he still looks at me and he's like, so how are your operations doing? What is your return on? Now that you have this big warehouse, how have you? So he's still very keen, but very proud nonetheless. He's my biggest cheerleader. And he does, he's a business consultant. So he does a lot of seminars, conferences. I credit a lot of LCG's growth and structure to him because those are the things he, instills in big companies. So he's taught me how to think for the long haul, and that's to say, it's made it a little bit difficult for me to mingle too much with people in our industry because then I really feel like I'm speaking my own language. I say things that people are like, what is that? And I'm just like, Okay.
Oh, okay. So first of all, the black camera kick.
Did it happen?
Did it even happen?
How did you get? How did you land? Just tell us.
One of my proudest moments. So I've been told there's no black fondant. I check on YouTube, but then they buy fondant. So I'm like, but color is color, right? The color chart is the color chart, right? So what will happen if I just mix this and this and this and see? So I just put it to an empirical test to see what will happen if I mix this and this and this. And then I got red, green, and blue, and it worked. I made a flyer, and I stuck it on the wall. And I was like, this is how you make black fondant. And everyone who would ask, I'm pretty much an open book, So people will be like, how can you make black fondant? I'm like, take this flyer. This is how you make black fondant. I've heard that you can't make, I'm like, try this. And I use locally available colors and pigments and whatever. Nothing imported, nothing other than the gold stuff. So I was like, this is how you make black fondant, guys. I figured it out. We are not going to spend time telling people it can't work. It can work. So that's how I made it.
Oh, that was really nice.
And so then I went back to the school, the Valentine, and I showed the principal on my laptop. I was like, so this is what I've been working on. And she's like, there's no way that this is your work. And I'm like, bro, are you kidding me?
I'm showing you.
I dropped out because this is what I was busy doing, you know. So I needed to come and just validate that, yes, I left, but I left for this reason. And so when I finished, and I think a year later, I called and I was like, I need to graduate. And they were like, yeah, you should. And I was like, yeah, I'll come for the next one, just sign me up. So when I went, they actually gave me the top student award. Imagine. And I was like, thank you. I know I broke all the rules, but yeah, I think they really just saw that I was very motivated to finish. And I just also really wanted to push beyond what people say is possible. And so that was that.
Now touching to the fact that, you know, you've said you're an open book. And let me just say this. I think in class, maybe I was sleeping during that time. When we did our ganache, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I thought ganache is 1 part chocolate, 2 parts cream. I don't know where that analogy came from. So I did it, and it was just not haikuwa inakauka. So I was just like, what do I do? So I actually just told Samantha, I think hebu nikumbusheni to the ganache. And like, she was very quick to respond. Even I remember passion card, I don't know why I kept losing that recipe for some reason. And in our class group, people kept sharing. And we were just talking with Sharon, like, in this industry, there are so many people who have murderous information that it is not even in relation to a cake recipe, not relation to a fondant. At all, we pair fondant. It's not in relation to that. It's in relation to, say, for example, where did you buy this whisk? Natural on red. Where did you do this? And I don't know what is happening, or if it has been like that. But just talk about that, being an open book, not necessarily with recipes, because Sharon is really, really agitated with somebody who asks for their recipes. Why are you asking me for my recipe? But there are other things that I feel like equipment, things that literally won't take anything away from your business.
Ooh, what do I say about that? So I'm an open book because actually, first of all, my personality is set up that way. But it also stems from how hard it was to learn things and to know things. Remember, when I started this was 2010. There was no one even to ask. Like, by the time you're asking, you're shouting to the other, side of the world. So it just felt exceedingly difficult to learn things. That's why I'm like, I've figured out fondant. Guys, this is how we do it, So I will speak to it from, I think mindset is an important thing to acknowledge. How you see the world, how you see life. If you think there is enough for everyone, that is how you will behave. If you think there isn't enough for everyone, then you will behave that way. It's just really the mindset that you choose to have. Again, some people don't even know that they have a limiting mindset. I would say, if something is not working, it's just not your space. It's really never that serious, People ask us for these things all the time. Again, this is the thing. Us guys sell classes. So if you come and ask me for whatever you want, because you've paid for my class, I'll give you whatever you want. If you come and ask me and you've never come for my class, the first thing I'll tell you is come to my class. Not just because we want to get paid for it, but there's a process to it. And our classes are heavily mindset oriented. Am I right?
Yeah, true.
So by the time you're asking for lemon curd, the next thing you're not going to tell me is, and my business is not working. Because by the time we've journeyed together, even if it's for a day's workshop, then we've altered something in your thinking and in your process. So I do encourage people to come for our classes, because then it's very refreshing to come out of there and really feel like you can push past. Secrets are there. We don't tell everyone everything. But I would say it's just a mindset issue. And even some great bakers, I've watched them be very tight-fisted, and I always joke and I'm like, even if I give you my whole database, I don't think we will close business tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Let alone the recipe, you know. So what it is we're able to offer the client is for the client that we have attracted and the client that loves us. I might come to your bakery and not be able to please your clients the way you are able to do so. So I think it just boils down to mindset. It can be an advantage for some of us, because then if you know that we are willing to share, then we attract all the students who are like me. I'm going there because I trust that when these guys speak to us, that they're giving us, you know, they're giving us the real deal, and we're not trying to. I've had very crazy stories about classes in this Nairobi. I've had the craziest things, you know. People will teach you one thing and then be like, or they'll whisk the demo cake away so that you don't even taste it. I've just had the weirdest things, and I'm like, but to what end? Like, this industry we love, to what end?
If you want to do something for the long run, imagine you won't survive in the industry with those two gimmicks. Those two.
And knowledge evolves. You see, the things I knew when I was starting and the things I know today, a lot of them have gone obsolete. So even if I'm to keep a trade secret so tight, for how long is it going to be relevant before people have moved on to another thing?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it really is just a mindset thing. Yeah.
Okay, so we have made the camera cake. Now we are moving swiftly. We have done 6 cakes.
Weddings.
Jerry here
Weddings.
has decided to do 6
whole
weddings.
weddings.
It's a whole package.
Yes.
And then now she has decided, now this one, me, I can't. Now let me stick to now cakes.
Yeah.
And over time, we've seen your beautiful cakes, the way you've crafted them. I mean, did you see Lonzi's wedding cake?
Yeah.
The black one? No, it's like,
Shout out to Lonzi.
marble ilikuwa inaingiana je na hii marble hapa, like, I mean, but then also going, I know this whole journey, it was not an easy journey. There are highs, there are lows. I would just want you to like pinpoint like a high moment and a low moment.
Gosh, I have so many. The highs. Remember when I told you I've designed a life that I just am happy to live? I have highs moments, but I try to have a life where I'm really thankful and grateful and in a posture of just I'm just honored by life happening, you know. So high moments, gosh, there are so many. Many of them are so. Moving to the warehouse, let me say, because that's a recent one. So we recently put up a warehouse in Kikuyu, which was what you call one of my wildest dreams. Please come and visit.
We will.
So where we were was very tight. We were in a very tight space, and we were up to 12 employees at some point. And you know, you had to like nudge past each other. It was so crazy. Yeah. And then I was also like, let me just gonna have to pay rent. Oh my gosh. But then I was also like, it's either I do that or I stick here and remain as limited as possible, or as limited as, you know, the resources are allowing me. I also felt I owed it to myself to push as far as I can possibly can. So that was very interesting. From a business perspective, then it forced me to think outside the cake. I think for 2 years I wasn't involved at all in production. Maybe almost 3 years. I wasn't involved at all. No baking, no decorating, no nothing. So then I was able to spend a lot more time crafting the business and figuring that out. Then when we moved, I guess I can call this one a low. A whole bunch of the team, we parted ways for various reasons. And initially I was like, what is this? What is going on? And then we got an order for 3,000 cupcakes that first week. And I was just like, I haven't baked a cake in so long. I don't even know what to do. But then now the benefit is I really value putting things in systems and whatever. So I was like, bring out the book. Okay, good. Where is the whisk? It's higher. I remember the machine. I'm like, I've never used this thing. How do we, where do we, you know? So how many cupcakes can fit inside the oven at the same time? We have that document somewhere, you know? So we were able to really, really figure that out. Moving, I don't know if this, I can call it a low because it was very unexpected and difficult. But again, everything has a silver lining. Me feeling like the move didn't cure my ambition Yeah, it didn't make me feel nimefika. No, it actually made me feel like the work has just begun, and I was like, okay, now I have moved from being a big fish in a small pond to a little fish in a very big pond.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize what I was preparing myself for was like at the next level, literally the next level. And then there is no coach to come and tell you, so this is what you're going to work on today. This is how you need to rethink your accounts. This is what targets look like. So now we have to work with targets, which we never, baking we were just cake fairies, right? We're just having a good time.
Yeah.
Now we have to think of things at a very different level, So I would call that a low just because of how it felt like it really just happened in a very short amount of time, and I don't think I had much time to process it. But again, someone has to do it so that they come and tell people on Cake Dealers KE that it's doable. It happens and it's doable. You can actually get into a hard space and grow through it. So that was a big one. Other lows are like small things, character development with employees, small to things you deal with. What else? Highs are usually associated with opportunities to serve certain clients, and you go there and you're just like, wow, that was an amazing experience. But generally, any day that LCG is open, running, clients are happy, fridge is stocked, oven is working, is a good day. Yeah.
That's really beautiful. At least kila mtu anajua kuna kuanga na highs na kuna kuanga na lows. And so one thing I would really want to point out is I remember going through a certain setback with my client, who I wouldn't call my client really. It's someone. So I remember just going through the emotions. It was really an emotional time for me for some reason. I don't know why, but I did cry. So I didn't understand why they would, just use certain words to describe my cake, and it was just really bad. And I remember just going to that group and just telling people, no, what do I do? Why is this person doing this?
I remember
and
this.
Let me tell you, Samantha wrote down that message for me. Aliandika hiyo message yote. Mimi nilikuwa tu kazi yangu kucopy na kupaste. And I was just like, and then something that she said that still sticks with me till date, and I keep on saying it. Sometimes, yes, the review tunajua ni mbaya, and it was not even your fault, but there's something good that can come out of this. And it has always stuck with me when clients come to me with even the slightest of complaint. I am not in panic mode. I know how to handle it. Like when somebody tells me your cakes were like this, like that, I'll be able to just say, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now this is not, they are not attacking unis, they are attacking Nakuru Cake Fairies. So let me just be an advocate of it, and try and make things. And I feel like that bits now, it comes to this point of professionalism, which we have talked before about it, and I feel like most home bakers just tend to they don't take it seriously, because I'm a home baker, so
unless you're baking just to be a home baker for the rest of your life. But if you want to scale your business to other heights, number one thing you should always realize that your business and you are two different people. You work for your business. Always respond to issues, clients, and everything like I am working for Kickbo. It's not the other way around. Sometimes unasikianga will respond na asira yote,
much energy.
So I just wish you will mention a thing or two, maybe 3 things you've learned so far through your journey. We know you have baked for how many years again?
15.
15. She's the OG in this this industry. But I think a thing or two about professionalism, what you've picked, not only professionalism, but at least 5 lessons you've picked from this whole journey.
Oh, 5 lessons. Okay, you'll help me keep count.
Number
1, professionalism is so underrated. You don't win by making ads on social media. You win by giving people a great experience. And that goes without saying. Even if you're a home baker or a hobbyist, the person who's receiving the item that you've created, you can't just throw it on the table and be like, there you go. You want to give people an experience. You want to make people happy at the most basic level. Just make people happy, because what we're doing is a choice. We're not forced to do this. It is entirely a luxury product, regardless of where it falls on the pricing scale. It is a luxury item. It's not a need. Okay, so one of the things I've learned easily is just to be professional. The hits come now. The market that we serve knows a lot of good English, and they have a lot of big words, and they really also understand their rights in service. They understand what level of service that they deserve. Okay, so our work is always to bolster that for them. If you think that you deserve the best, it's Little Kekal's job to confirm that indeed you deserve the best. We are not here to reduce that in any way for our clients. I've learned that client is right. The client is king. No matter which way you want to argue with that, the client is right even when they are wrong. But being professional is what bridges the chasm between you and the client, which is to say, if I disappointed you, even just this morning, I was reviewing our WhatsApp messages, and a client just shared something, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is such an embarrassing thing to be told. I won't say what it is, but I'll say it off camera. And I looked at it and I was like, now how do I respond to this? What am I going to tell this person? And so the first thought is, how has this made them feel? That is the first thing we need to address. This has made them feel blah, blah, blah. And that is what you go to heal. That's what you go to recover. You don't go in to defend yourself, okay? Because defending yourself makes what they're feeling worse. Okay? So first you acknowledge that this is how they're feeling, and then hear them out. How do they want? And that's a crazy thing that we do. We ask our clients, how would you like us to make it right? How do you want us? Like we put ourselves out on a ledge. How do you want us to make this right? Because the value of the inconvenience is only known by that person. It's not known by us. So sometimes we'll be like, it's okay, we'll give you a refund. And that could be insulting to the client. We could also be like, half off of on your next order. That could also come off, So we always ask them to let us know how they would want us to make amends with them. And then now from there we can sort of see maybe a reasonable in between. Some people will ask for more than, than fit the crime. The punishment sometimes exceeds the crime. So that's one. I think the biggest thing is that our clients are the most important people to us. I've not always been very keen to be very closely in relation to my clients, and that's something that I actually am working on now. But yes, I'm an introvert actually. Might not believe it, but I like talking to people I know. I feel most comfortable talking to people that I actually know. So that's something that I would work on. Another thing that I would say is most important is this thing called work-life balance. I don't know what that means, but I don't do 50-50. I do 100-100. So when I'm at work, I'm not a wife, I'm not a mother. When I'm at home, I am not LCG, I am not any of those things. I can look at the phone and do. So I do 100-100. I don't do 50-50. That's another thing I've learned. And all the guilt, throw it out the window, because this life is not that long. 15 years have moved by ridiculously fast. And I don't think I regret the amount of time and effort I've put into my work, because I like my work. But I would say, don't miss the sports day. Don't miss your friend's event because of one or two things that are happening. Which brings me to say, scale the business. Grow a business that is scalable. Grow a business that, which is my number 3 point, right? Grow a business that can survive you going on a 3-day trip. Grow a business that can support your kids going to certain schools, because then it can earn that for you. Grow a business that actually supports your life. I steer away. There's something my husband says, that comes from a certain book, stay away from the unhappy and the unlucky. Okay, which is to say, even with the community that we are in, everyone that comes in complaining, like, clients always complaining. Oh, my clients says, people don't like my prices. Oh, people don't. I'm like, people don't like your prices. Have you seen our? We can't we can't make everything a problem. So, my point. What was the point again? Number 3 was structure. So. Putting structures in your business enables things to actually move and grow, and you can measure the growth. Like I said, we also have downtimes in the year, which now we capitalize on that downtime to do things we can't do when we're on peak season.
True.
Right? Gosh, let me think. The other 2 will come up as we keep going. Yeah.
Okay.
My 4th learning: be very specific about the kind of customer you want to serve. Okay, 99.9% of the bakers I have interacted with, in my classes especially, are always. So you'll come for our class, then we'll teach you ganache, and the first thing you'll say is, "Isn't this going to be expensive?" I'll always have the conversation about the things I will teach you might require you to change the market you're serving. Okay, because then it's the difference between, even with salons, we've seen Spritz came up. They are still open, and they're opening more branches. Some might call it different kind of business, but there is a market it's designed to serve, and there's nothing absolutely wrong with creating a business that serves a particular market, even if you're not a consumer within that market space. So if you want to have a decent profit or a decent return on your work, then you need to sell your cake for a higher price, and then you have to find the customer who's willing to pay that price. Okay, and so for me, that's a huge one, because I find most bakers are stuck in the middle market, and are afraid to serve the higher market, where your 1% clients are. You should be able to make a cake and have it go to
That's why you become very comfortable in a certain outlook for your cakes. Like someone can say this is Nani's cakes, because you're just comfortable in a kakukun. You don't want to open up and explore other markets.
Right. And really, there isn't a better way than up. So this is the irony of it. If you want to serve that market that will buy a cake at maybe, let's say, 2K, then you need to be able to scale to where you can sell 100 of those in a week. There is no other way to make money out of a more affordable cake. And so when we have the big cake cities and Valentine's, they are set up to serve a larger market at a smaller cost. But all bakers have entered with that as the price point. And so we can't possibly compete with that, because then until you're having those economies of scale where you're pumping out 100, 200, 300 cakes a week, then you can't see the same margins. So for us home bakers, and I say us because I've been one for the longest, then you have to have a wider margin. So that for every cake you have a higher return, because then you're not making 300 cakes in a week. Okay? So that being said, then you now have to really look for the customer who's comfortable with those amounts. And our cakes are, I would say, reasonably priced for the work that goes into them. I'll be honest. I generally, I don't know if I make this joke in my classes all the time. I don't think I would be a customer for Little Caker. Like, I don't imagine buying cakes for my kids from there.
Sometimes you're not even your target market.
No, how am I buying a cake for my kids at 10K? What?
I made a coffee cake sometime last week, not like 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, would I pay this amount of money for this? I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, it's your kid's birthday. And here before you're thinking, should I upgrade your phone? Should I buy you this cake from? So you're quickly going to be like, maybe, so you don't have to be the market for what you're producing. So that's number 4. That's a huge one. Be intentional about the market, because if you're not, you're going to spend all your time complaining about the way customers are trying to negotiate your prices downwards.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will be like, what's the best price for this? And I'm always like, the best price for this is higher. It's never lower. You can steal that one.
Yeah.
Best price is
It's higher.
above. So if it's like a K and they're like, what's the best price? I'll say 2K. And they'll be like, what do you mean? And I'm like, that's actually the best price. There's no other way to discuss this. So yeah, that would be the biggest one. And then number 5. So number 5 would have to be, and this is partly why I'm even in this podcast, go for classes and go for experiences that improve your skill and your mindset.
Very
okay
true. Very
so your mindset is just where it is. Okay, there's a book my dad gave me to read called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. So the mindset you have has reached you here. It's gotten you to this point. So now you need to increase something so that you can get to the next place that you want to get to. So at LCG, we really take that to heart. First of all, we love to teach because we get to meet people and our classes are fun. Sometimes it's therapy and we're like, oh my gosh, I went through this client said this. And so really what happens is that you come out feeling so confident, so refreshed. You come out saying, this fondant will never give me a sleepless night. You're like, when I'm pricing my cakes, I know exactly what to do now. So we take that very seriously. And our classes are also not designed for very long format. Like we're not trying to be diploma, we're not issuing diplomas or anything. And they're also designed for very quick consumption. So we have like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day workshops max. But in that 3 days, tell them, you will learn so much.
And
it's like a boot
get
camp.
a lot of questions. I also offer classes. And
Yeah.
someone is like, will I learn in
All
1
that.
week? And I'm like, yes, why not?
Yeah.
As long as you have passion in baking, even 2 days is enough.
Because at the
to
same
learn something.
time, look at it from a real world perspective. If I'm going to do a wedding cake, I'm not going to take 3 weeks to make that cake. I'm going to teach you in real time. This is how we do it. This is the pace.
true.
This
Yeah.
is the
Makes
pace at which we will use this.
One Monday we do this, Tuesday we do this, Wednesday, Friday. If the wedding is Friday, you
Yes,
get this
yeah. So we should actually collab in a class.
I know.
Yeah. So 2026, we have a lot of classes coming up.
Yes.
We do a lot of thinking work. So we do costing. We teach people what to consider when they're costing. No more looking at your neighbor's cakes and then figuring out yours is 2,600, I'll make mine 2,400. So we kind of get people very clear on the components of that. We help people to also forecast. How much money do you want to make? Then we'll work back and see what do your cakes actually need to cost for us to actually get to that point.
Yeah.
Now confidence, where things like ganache are concerned, I teach the easy way. I will never make anything more complex than it needs to be. Which is back to people not being open books. I will find the easiest way and then I will teach the easiest way, because I refuse to believe that cake is hard. That's why I'm not a brain surgeon. That is why I want to do nice, easy, fun, enjoyable, rewarding work. So we have a lot of those kind of online classes. We also have digital downloads for people who want to just like pick up a costing sheet and get a few tutorials. We have those. And then, so the whole of 2025, we actually managed to start and finish an annual calendar for our classes, which is the first time since we moved. So 2026, we are geared and we are really excited. Our wedding master classes.
Her schedule for classes, so you can see when and what to pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me tell you guys, if you don't go for that class, it's sour too. Mi ndakula tu clients wako.
She's very good with ganache from the class.
Really?
Yes.
For fondant cake, she believes in ganache. I learned with buttercream. There's a cake I did on TikTok, and a few people asked me, "You don't do anything on your cakes like the outside ganache or buttercream?" And I'm like, it had. Maybe because I didn't show preparing the cake. I just started with fondant because I was not going to edit that video from the beginning. And then someone was like, does it have buttercream or ganache? You don't put any. I was like, it had buttercream on the edge before I put fondant. And so I feel like you can perfect both. And I also went for a wedding masterclass, that is how I got to really know how to work with fondant. And I remember it's because my friend called me in Feb and told me my wedding is in July.
Oh, and you're doing the cake.
And you're doing the cake. I was still a home baker, and I was like, I want to get into the wedding industry. Like, I want, when someone asks for a cake, I have a beautiful cake. I know I can. YouTube naeza ngangana nayo, but I don't want to do a cake from YouTube.
I mean,
Let me
right,
just for a class.
right.
So as we were taught with buttercream, and I've perfected it.
Right.
And her ganache.
Good job.
I tried doing with buttercream. I told Sharon, not my thing.
Yeah.
And you see, for the longest time, I really struggled with clients accepting ganache. And right now, I get clients. You know, I usually give people a questionnaire like, do you want soft icing, hard icing? And for the longest time, I used to get soft icing. Squeeze, I just get fondant. I'm like, yes. Fondant, yes.
Yeah.
So even for birthdays, I get fondant. I'm so excited. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Because mimi kwanza ganache nikishaeka imeko sawa. Fondant is very easy.
Yeah.
Kwanza like the rorasho I did juicy. Kwanza I peeled the fondant vizuri before people because I just don't like cutting through fondant. I peeled it and then and the ganache was still there. Perfect. I didn't even peel it with the ganache. So yeah, if you want a class, enda kwake. Atakupea class.
Yes. Oh gosh, we love it. And at the same time, we also teach such good foundations so that everyone's cake can be perfect. We want your cakes to look like the prices that you're attaching to them. And it keeps it timeless so that when you're looking at your cakes 8 years down the line, you're not like, cringe, what was I doing?
Don't be like other bakers. You know, there's a baker who really brags, I didn't go for class. Me, I didn't go. And I do fondant. She did a fondant.
And probably they went.
Behind the camera. Let me tell you, I always feel like telling her, you actually, I don't know how it would be, but I always feel like telling her, you actually need to go for a fondant class. In all honesty, it's not a brag.
It's not a bad thing saying you went for a class.
Yeah, it's not.
I would 100% feel so much more proud of myself if I took the time to go and learn the best possible way to do it. Yeah.
That's it for you. So make sure you just peruse through her page, LCG.
You have a website?
So we will have people go to our Little Cake Girl page on Instagram. That's Little
put a
Cake Girl
link.
at KE.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just if you want to order, if you want to go for a class, then she's here for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has been lovely having you here, Samantha. Like I was
Thank
so
you so much,
excited.
Samantha.
And you just gracing our invites.
Yeah.
We don't take it for granted, by the way. We don't. And we really appreciate you being part and parcel of this, building this baking community. This is what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And we are so happy that you guys, you having done this for 15 years and you are able to come here and do this for us. We are super, super grateful.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys will follow her, and also remember to to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember to follow us across all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and also do not forget Spotify, where you can listen to us while you're driving, baking, and decorating. Yes, till next time. Bye.